On today's agenda, you guys, we have Miss Lauren Fritzler, who is a marketing and public relations manager at the Tri-State Fairgrounds. So thank you so much for being here, first of all, this morning.
Of course.
How are you feeling? State's literally a couple of days away.
Yes.
Actually, tomorrow.
Yes, we open our gates tomorrow, but I'm feeling good. Yeah, we're putting the finishing touches on everything, getting everything ready to go so that we can welcome guests tomorrow.
So before we, start talking about the state fair, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where did you go to school? What's your background?
Of course, yes. So I'm originally from northeastern Colorado. The tip-top corner, it's almost to Nebraska. I grew up on a farm and ranch there in Colorado. I grew up playing all the sports, FFA, 4-H. I also grew up rodeoing. So that's kind of my background. And then I came to school at WT. And I studied ag media and communication at WT. I had a minor in ag business and broadcast journalism. So we were also required to do an internship during our time at WT. And I did my internship at the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo. So as I was coming up on graduation, the job came open for the marketing and PR manager, and I didn't really want to leave Amarillo, so I applied and got the job, and I have been at the fairgrounds since February of 2024. So I started the job and kind of finished out my school doing double duty there for a while, and then graduated and stepped fully into that role. Had my first fair last year, so this will be my second fair.
So how did it go? Well, hold on. Let's backtrack real fast. You said that you went and did all things sports. You did 4-H. What did you show as far as animals? Did you show?
I didn't show animals in 4-H, so that's kind of I did more of the creative arts projects in 4-H. I did Decorate Your Duds, which in Colorado is you take an outfit that's in your closet and you transform it into something different, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So I did lots of sewing, lots of creative projects like dresses, and I did a skirt one year, tried to keep up with like the latest trends and take something that was maybe older in my closet and make it new. Yeah. So that was one project. I also did leather craft in 4-H. So I built a little wallet. I still have all of my leather craft tools at my house now in Canyon. I just never find the time to break them out anymore. So those were my two 4-H projects.
That, first of all, leathering working itself is so time consuming. Like, sometimes people are like, it might be a little pricey, but it's actually because it takes a lot of time.
Yes,
even
patience.
If you have just like a little, I don't know, like something for a holder for your phone or something. I mean, those things are, they take up time.
It does, yeah.
But did you do anything as far as like barrel racing? You did do barrel racing?
I did, yes.
Okay, so tell us a little about that.
That's a lot of, I kind of stepped into the livestock show world as I came down here. They have a class that it's called Little International, so you show an animal. Everyone in the animal science class shows an animal. And that was my first time actually being in the show ring with an animal. So that's going back. That was my first time. It was lots of fun, but now I feel more accustomed to being around all of the livestock shows that go on out at the fairgrounds. So that's my livestock show experience. My rodeo experience is completely different. I grew up rodeoing from the time I was a little girl. My family's background is rodeo. My mom grew up rodeoing, my grandparents, so that was more what I was into, I guess. So had horses, started out junior rodeoing, ended up high school rodeoing. I went to the junior NFR in Las Vegas. That was in 2017. A lot of the horses that I rode were just horses that we raised on the ranch. So that's one thing that I'm proud of, is that I got to take the homegrown horses to Las Vegas.
Right.
So I competed in barrel racing, breakaway roping. I team rope a little bit. So
you really had all the skills to do it all.
Yes, I did rodeo.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay, so now going to WT. Were you in the new department when they built the ag department?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. How has the ag department in general at WT has changed, especially with this new building?
Of course, yeah. The ag department is just amazing, and it is the building. The building is nice, but it's really the people there that make the ag department so great. I came for a tour my junior year and got a little look into the building, got to see what it was like. I met with a professor, and I came back my senior year of high school, and I remember walking in the door, and Dr. Lance Keith, he was the head of the ag department at that time. I walked in for my tour my senior year, and he remembered me from when I was there a year prior. And I thought, that's just crazy. He sees kids come through here all the time, and he remembered me. So that was one thing that's when it really clicked for me, that the people here they care for you. Yeah. They want you to succeed. So, and I saw that throughout my time there. I worked in the ag department as a student worker, was really involved in the student orgs, tried to help out in any way that I could. And I think that's also, the people are great. The professors, they want you to succeed, but it's also what you put into it too. So I wanted to make sure that I put my best foot forward so that I could also see the benefits on the back end.
Right, like get that back. So you went and graduated with a ag, but comm. So what is that? I mean, because there literally is a field for everything.
There is.
And I mean, I'm a comm major, but obviously it's for broadcasting. So yours is ag. So what is that role?
Yes. So I had some classes in the fine arts building too at WT. I took like News 1, so news stories. I took several classes in the fine arts building. But the mixture of ag, media, and communication is really just blending the two, agriculture and comm. So still learned the same things like camera, photography, videography wise, writing press releases, news stories, feature stories, long form and short form. But it's taking those skills in comm and just intertwining them with all things ag. So telling the story of agriculture, basically, sharing that with the general public in the communication way.
See, that is so neat. Yeah, I definitely wish I would have learned a little bit more about that when I was going to school, because it's something that I think I would have definitely like made myself like pull towards. But now tell us your role about the Tri-State Fair. Like, what do you do there? Your first year, you said that you got down. How did it go?
Yes. So my first year went great. I've been telling a lot of people this year that my stress level is like 50% of what it was last year. Last year, just jumping into it, doing my internship helped, but I didn't have any clue of really what I was doing. I had a good team that was helping me, of course, but this year I have seen what it's like. I know what to expect this year. So my role there at the Tri-State Fair is social media, of course, news stories, being with all of our wonderful media partners here in the area, planning the advertising for the fair, and then another part is like the signage, all of the wayfinding signage, trying to make sure that we are sharing the right messages around grounds. And then the PR part is we're a nonprofit organization. The Amarillo Tri-State Exposition is our nonprofit organization. We self-produce the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo, and the rest of the year we manage the Tri-State Fairgrounds, having about 80 to 90 events out there annually. So when we have our outside events, just trying to make sure that they have everything that they need. We have an events coordinator on the grounds, but just trying to show the public through our social media channels that we are more than the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo. We're the Tri-State Fairgrounds year-round.
Right, because you guys had an event on the 6th of September for the special needs, correct?
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we had the Tri-State Exceptional Rodeo. We have that every year, and it is tied with our rodeo, but we have about 100 kids and individuals that have special needs, disabilities, and so they get to come out and experience what it's like to be a cowboy or cowgirl for a day. Yeah, they get to ride horses, compete in other little rodeo events, and they have the best time. They get so excited. They just love it, and we have some of the WT rodeo team members as well as some of our rodeo committee members that come out and interact with the adults, kids, and so they just love it.
So it's a full family, a whole team effect as far as them helping out with the events out there. But have you seen the state fair involved? I know you said that this is your first year, but you did an intern. So have you seen it just with those 2 years evolve significantly?
Definitely. Our team has really focused and honed in on what we can do to make the customer experience better, the guest experience when they come to the fair. So that's one thing that I've seen evolve. The look and feel of the fairgrounds is just different than it was 3-4 years ago. So that's something that we're proud of. Our team, on the backside, our team meets every week. We have a small staff of about 7 inside staff, and then we have about there's more outside, probably about 9 that help keep the grounds nice, the groundskeepers. So, but the inside staff, we meet almost every week, and we have been reading a book. So we started with the Fans First book from Jesse Cole from the Savannah Bananas wrote that book.
Yeah.
So we read that one, and then we just finished another book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. So figuring out how to make the customer experience better after reading Fans First, putting our fans first,
Right.
And doing for one fan what you wish you could do for all. So that was those were the takeaways from the Fans First book. And then finishing Start With Why, just talking about why do we do what we do? Why do we put this event on for the community? And so we really narrowed that down to, we're here to enrich the community. We're here to provide something for our community that's an escape from reality, something that they can make memories with their family. And the reason that we started was really from our founders back in 1923, when we went back and found the minutes from the very first meeting when they started the Amarillo Tri-State Expo organization back in 1923. So they were the ones that started, but we need to dial down to why. Yeah. And so going back to that, our team has just seen the evolution of our organization over the years.
That is so neat. So I wanted to touch quickly on the youth and what you guys serve as far as the ag education from the state fair, because you guys have that in some of y'all's flyers, that this is something that you guys provide. Yes. So can you talk about that for the youth? Yeah,
that's one of our main mission points, is supporting youth in ag education. So we do that in 2 forms. We do that through hands-on learning, the youth that bring their livestock projects, and even if they're not livestock projects, they're 4-H projects, FFA projects, creative arts exhibits to the fair. They bring, it's a process for them to learn about that year round. They are preparing their projects to bring them to the fair. Of course, then we also have school tours. We have a lot of 3rd graders. I don't even know the exact number. We do school tours in the morning of the fair. So bringing the 3rd graders in and giving them a demonstration of live cow milking. They get to learn from our presenting sponsor, Texas Farm Bureau, about different ag products, farming, everything. So, and then they get to see like live animals. They get to see chicks being hatched in the Rex Baxter. So that's the learning that they get, the education that they gain from being at the fair. The second piece to supporting youth in ag education is our scholarships. So we started our scholarship fund back in 2004, and since then we've given over $100,000, and after this year we've committed over $1 million to our scholarships. So over 475 individuals we have impacted through the form of scholarships.
So how does that work? Since you guys are a nonprofit, is it just the funds that you guys receive from, like, again, all these events that go into those scholarships?
Of course, yeah. So it's basically all of our guests who come through the gate of the fair, a portion of their ticket, a portion of what they are spending at the fair goes back to youth scholarships. That's one thing that I like to make clear, is that you, the guests, are supporting our scholarships, supporting and sending Texas Panhandle youth to college when you come through the gates of the Tri-State Fair and Rodeo.
And I think a lot of people may not even know that, and that's so crazy to think that they're actually helping the future of the ag business.
Yes.
Where would you like to see the fair in the next couple of years?
Yeah. We're on the right track right now. I think it's growing for sure, and that's the best thing. But my main goal as the PR manager is to just spread the word. Like you said, some people may not know that a portion of their ticket goes back to youth, but just trying to make that known, make that more clear through some of our messaging, through our channels, trying to make all of our efforts lead back to that. I think that's one goal that I have, as well as we are volunteer based. So building up our volunteers, empowering them to do the best job that they can do to help support the fair, support our organization, building them up. That's another thing, just leading them, I guess, in the best way possible to build the fair, grow the fair.
Yeah. Quickly before we go, I, follow you on social media.
Yes.
I see that, you style yourself up. What is your intake on the Western lifestyle? Because you also said that you went to Vegas.
Yes.
So you see a lot of, the fashion stuff. What's your intake on that?
Yes. I love Western fashion. That's what all of my personal social media pages are, is just Western fashion, Western photographers. That's something that I'm passionate about. So just trying to find the latest trends and put my own spin on them. So my family also has, Western fashion in our blood, basically. My aunt has a Western fashion boutique, so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree there. So all of that, just that's about it.
And I think it goes even back to when you were talking about you doing 4-H projects. I mean, you said that you were sewing, you were someone that has had this, you said, running through your blood.
Yes.
And what I like to do, nowadays, especially the past 5 years, is going, through social media and seeing, what are they wearing for the NFR? What was the trend? Because sometimes it's this year we're doing leather, this year we're doing diamonds, this year we're doing denim, whatever it is. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love to put my own spin on it because I love Western fashion, but I also love New York, classy, higher fashion too. So seeing some of that and then trying to blend it with the Western fashion.
And you have even seen this as far as the Western, style and everything, I think changed so much just in the past 7 years, I would say. So it's crazy to see how that's going to be changing even coming up, in the next year or so, because I feel social media plays such a huge role.
It does.
In that, but I'm excited. Are you planning going to the NFR this year?
Probably not this year. I've gone a lot. I went maybe 2 years ago. My family goes out there every year. My stepdad actually, he ropes in the World Series team roping out there at South Point. So they go every year, but I have not been in a few years. Yeah. I have to save my money to go out there.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, people make a whole itinerary for...
I would.
I'm talking about morning through afternoon, change outfits, do the whole thing. Yes. I know I want to keep talking about this just because I feel this is something that I really love too. Just tell me quickly, what do you see the difference between again the high style between New York as opposed to this, bringing it back to agriculture and the ag life? Because I mean it's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference, but in recent years we've seen the New York fashion, the high class fashion, has swung more Western too. Right, they like the cowboy hats. They like the denim. Yeah. They are almost trying to be Western fashion. Right. And some of the Western fashion are trying to be the New York fashion. So I think they go well together. I think that when it comes down to it, deep down, everybody wants to be a cowboy or a cowgirl. Everybody is inspired by the Western way of life, and so is the fashion.
Yeah. I mean, because again, it goes back to them wearing either leather or them wearing, fur coats, whatever it is, which again, it all ties down to ag. But thank you so much, Lauren, for being with us this morning. That is the first episode of Agenda, and I couldn't be more proud to have Miss Lauren with us to talk about her life and her role in the Tri-State Fair.
Thank you.